Well, hi everybody. Happy 2026. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a video. So let's do the first video of 2026. It's going to be another layout update. And there's actually been a lot of progress made over the last few weeks. So let's take a look. One of my last videos I mentioned the Walthers Gold Mystery Box. And I'm still working on putting the boxes away. But I've put a lot of this to use, and that's part of this update. So let's walk around primarily layout B and see what's changed here. Alright, and I do want to mention that I also received a silver box, a Walthers silver mystery box from my mom. So that was even more amazing things that are now on the layout that I'm going to show you. I can't exactly remember what came from the gold, what came from the silver, but almost all of it was put to use immediately, including what you're looking at right here in front of you. So this rail shops was one of the items from the mystery box, so I decided to make it a two-part building. It's partially going to be the engine facilities for this yard, and it's also going to be part of the paper plant. Okay, and that brings me to the next building right there, which is actually the printing press kit, I do believe, but I just made it part of the paper mill, and it also came with the air cleaner that's out in front there. And that water tower. Okay, all part of that mystery box. Along with these bulkhead flat cars. And that flat car over there. Okay. And as you can see, I've also added the turnouts. These are the newer Walthers turnouts. I thought I would give those a try. They seem to be pretty good. The old Shinahara turnouts. And here comes the train. This locomotive is new as well. I just picked this up yesterday as the filming of this video at the Novi train show. It's a Huron Central paint scheme. Huron Central runs between Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario and Sudbury, Ontario, and interchanges with the Algoma Central here in Sault Ste. Marie. So I figured this was a unique piece. Went ahead and picked it up, and it's a great locomotive. It's an Atlas Silver Series. It's DCC ready, so if I do want to convert it at some point to run it over here, should be fairly easy to do. I've done that before. But yeah, it's super quiet, and it's pulling this whole train on its own with no issue at all. At the end of the train, you'll see another bulkhead flat, which was also part of that mystery box. One of those, I believe the bulkhead flats were in the silver box, but it's been a few weeks and it's hard to tell now what was what. That flat car right there also was part of one of those boxes. I think I got a flat car in the gold and a flat car in the silver, if I recall. And then this structure, this craft mill, I had that. I picked that up last year at the Novi train show because I knew I wanted that to be part of my St. Mary's paper mill here. So here's the pulpwood and the log yard. The pulp tanks got moved over there. That's those. That part of the layout mostly has been the same, but yeah, this is where the biggest change has taken place. All the tracks are ballasted, although the ballast is not completely glued down yet. I'm still letting it settle. Okay. I've added another house back there, and I've got a fence, chain link fence from Woodland Scenics, separating the industrial area from the neighborhood. And then I've got a privacy fence, separating that house from the water tower. Alright, let's head over to the big layout and see what kind of changes I've made there. In fact, we'll just start right here, right across from layout B. And I actually did this just before the filming of this video, as I've been adding a lot more static grass around the layout. Sorry, my finger keeps wanting to steal the focus. There's a little bit down in here. I've also started gluing down some of the ballast that has had time to settle over time, like all of this in front of you. Okay. Now we're going to get into the area where you're going to see some of the buildings that came with those mystery boxes. You might have seen a couple of these already. I can't recall. Like, this is the Lifelike supermarket kit that I turned into a Save-A-Lot. That building right there that I've turned into a pub. Oh, and the little dump truck in the lot next to it that also came in a box. Mystery box. Reach up here real quick and shed some light on the subject. Although that really didn't make much of a difference, did it? That fire truck. Another water tower. So I got one water tower in the gold box and one in the silver. I don't think there's much more over here. So let's move onward. I'm doing a little bit of work in here with the static grass and kind of gluing down the ballast. I got a few different blends of ballast going on here where things have been worn away and you know, it's a yard, so it's not maintained as well, so you see a lot of dirt and older stained ballast and stuff, so I thought that made a neat effect. Alright, so here's a lot of the rolling stock that came in the boxes. I know that these two Milgons were in the silver box. And the rest of these cars, well, actually, I think this was a silver. And that flat car was a silver. And the rest of them, I'm going to guess, were in the gold box. So that would be this flat car. And these are all the trailer train flats. Okay. This flat car and the trailer. This flat car. A lot of these containers and things I had. That flat car I had. So this flat car and the trailer, that flat car, and then this open auto rack, this one, that flat, and that semi-enclosed auto rack. And since the train is right here, I'm going to point out a couple new locomotives here. These were picked up with my Christmas cash. It's a local hobby shop. Of course, they're going to go behind the auto racks right now, but these are Great Lakes Central locomotives. When I saw those, I knew I had to pick them up because that was one of the railroads I was missing. Being all the mid-Michigan railroads are represented now, it's really cool how things are coming together. These containers right here, they came in the mystery box, as did that yellow one. Now again, I couldn't tell you which came in which, but nonetheless, all very cool stuff. So over here, one of the building kits that came in one of the mystery boxes was a hardware store and lumber yard. So I instantly knew what I was going to do with that. I made the lumber yard and the garden center for Menards, or at least started making it. I'm going to add more details, more plants, people, and a fence around it at some point, but This is an amazing start, and it looks really awesome. It's even got some of the lumber loads inside there. And I picked up some little plants from Hobby Lobby. And I had little bags from a different project, so I turned those into bags of topsoil and mulch. Here's a Gunderson flat. So this is flat all the way across that I picked up at the train show yesterday. So I'm going to use this as my first flat car to put these automobile frames on. So make a car that looks like this one here that I actually picked up at the Lansing train show almost 3 years ago now. Okay, those two trailers are new, part of the mystery box, as is this cylindrical air cleaner, some of the air conditioning units on top of the buildings, another fire truck, more static grass through here that I've done. Some of this was here, but a lot of this is new. Oh yeah, this food truck, beverage truck, was in one of the boxes. Here's my control mountain. I don't think there was anything over here, but at the same time, maybe. One of the reasons that I wanted those Great Lakes Central locomotives, though, is because that's the shop for it, right there. It's part of the Steam Railroading Institute that I already had modeled, so I'm like, yep, gotta get the locomotives to go with it. Alright, a couple more things to point out. That brown trailer is new, as is this cab and the trailer. And that might be it for the boxes for now. I also got figures and stuff that I haven't put on the layout yet. But also the last item I picked up yesterday at the train show was this bulkhead flat with the side stakes to hold in logs. So I just got to go out and get some sticks and make some logs to pop on there. My brother found these pretty cool little tools. They help put your cars on the tracks. This is supposed to be for HO, but I think I could probably use it for N as well, which is good because as I age, it's getting a little bit harder to put some of the stuff on the tracks, especially N scale. I'm going to close the video by having the Great Lakes Central locomotives and its train come by. Again, these are Atlas Master Line. No, these are Atlas Gold Line locomotives. The Huron Central was a silver series. And I'll probably do a review of these at some point. They are sound equipped. I just have the sound muted right now so I could do the video. But yeah, they're just purring right along. Well, I'll leave you here to see the train go through. Again, happy 2026. Hopefully everything goes okay enough. And I'll see you soon on the next one. Everybody take care out there. Bye for now.